Hey guys, it's KC here, and today's video deals with journalism in our country today, in this day and age. The following is a clip from ENCA. The program is called All Angles, and the host is Tulasizwe Simalani. Apologies for the quality, it was recorded off a TV set, but you get the gist of it.
Angles on ENCA. Thank you for joining us. We'll get to your top stories in just a moment, but let me get this out of the way. Without equivocation, let it be said that the actions of the mob of farmers who tried to storm police holding cells and who damaged and torched a police vehicle in Senegal yesterday are disgusting acts of lawlessness and vigilantism. They leave a bitter taste in the mouth for many freedom-loving South Africans who believe in the Constitution and the rule of law, the only consensus we have in this country to balance our varied interests as a diverse society with a divided and divisive history. So let me get this straight. These hooligans thought the way to deal with farm murders was not to arrest the two suspects and put them through trial in a competent court of law, as the police commendably did for a change in this case. But rather, in their warped view, the way to achieve this goal was to storm the police precinct, try and retrieve the suspects from the police holding cells, and then damage and burn a police vehicle and other property. So what would they have done with the two suspects had they managed to get them from the police holding cells? Beat them to death, shoot them, hang them by rope, and then what? What would have happened after that? Do they have any sense of the appreciation, a sense of appreciation of the race relations we are constantly negotiating as a nation? If we continue this race to the bottom, how long before vigilantism and reprisal killings are the norm? Look, my point is, there is no new wisdom in saying no one wins from vigilantism and a breakdown of the rule of law. This only makes a bad situation even worse. The killing of farmers and farm workers is deplorable crime that deserves the urgent attention of our nation's leaders. And let's park for a moment the equally important and correct discourse about the ongoing abuse and exploitation of farm workers and historical grievances, legitimate grievances about land tenure and land reform. Park them for a moment. That is a conversation equally worth having, and grievances equally worth prioritization. But I am not seeking to clothe criminality with the garbs of revolution. There is nothing revolutionary in the crimes being committed on farms. Nothing ideological, nothing revolutionary, nothing that advances the much needed socio-economic redress. And by the way, in case you're wondering, there's also no genocide against white farmers in this country. But equally, the actions of these goons don't help farmers and farm workers feel any safer. In fact, you've just gone and undermined the whole message about the need to improve crime detection and law enforcement in the vast expanses of farmlands and rural areas in this country. It's complex, but it needs to be done. Are they in jail yet, these goons? I mean, if we are equal before the law, what they did is no different from what Fees Must Fall activist Kanya Tsageshe did, right? It's possibly even worse. And he was sentenced to 5 years in prison. When are the Senegal thugs appearing in court, Commissioner Kesasitol?
Right, I'm not sure what you heard there, but firstly, in my opinion, that program should be relabeled From All Angles to Tulasizwe's angle, because that's all I heard, his angle or his personal view. He rightly mentions the Constitution and the rule of law. He rightly calls out the action of the farmers as lawless and vigilantism. He goes on to refer to them as goons and thugs for not respecting the Constitution and the rule of law. And he's right. But here's my issue. As an avid listener of talk radio, and I watch all the news channels generally, when the EFF tackled cliques, publicly called for shutting down of the stores, and then went ahead and forcefully shut down legitimate trading businesses, damaged private property and denied other shoppers their constitutional right to shop. I never heard any of you or any other journalists label Julius Malema or his members as goons or thugs. Their acts were no different from the farmers. It was lawless and it was vigilantism. They took the law into their own hands. But you, Tula Sizwe, as well as most other journalists, even lauded the EFF for taking up the struggle and tackling racism when our government obviously was silent. You identified with a very deep-seated problem that affected the majority of South Africa. Very little airtime was given to the lawless nature of the EFF's actions. Very little airtime afforded to the fact that they denied other shoppers their constitutional right. Double standards? Are you afraid of the EFF? Or is it a case of when it comes to matters affecting the black community, then we view it through a different lens? We see things differently. Then you mentioned at the end of your video the Fees Must Fall campaign, where students went on the rampage, destroyed universities, looting, destruction, burning was the order of the day. Tula Sizwe, did you or any of your fellow journalists call this behavior out for what it was? Lawless vigilantism. Did you or any of your fellow journals label them as goons or thugs? Did you? No, senor. In fact, all I ever heard on the radio and TV was sympathy towards the cause. Every commentator interviewed, I heard, were proud of the students for taking up the stand, for making a stand. The youth were making a stand. Yet, despite the noble cause, despite the fact that it was a real issue that needed addressing, it was still nothing short of lawlessness and thuggish behavior. But it wasn't labeled as such. And why not? Is it because it's a cause that affects the majority population, and so we apply different standards? This is not a matter of my opinion. It's clear to see in the manner in which you have addressed the Senekal court issue. Almost every day in South Africa, there's a protest action, generally involving burning tires on the roads. Roads and infrastructure are damaged daily. This is also lawless behavior and state property is damaged. But is anyone arrested? Is Becky Keller calling for these people to be arrested? And just to be clear, it's not that I want anyone to be arrested. What I am addressing is your double standards. If the rule of law applies, it must apply to all the time. That's my angle. Double standards. ENCA and you, Tula Sizwe, according to my angle, should hold your head in shame. Then I see you question the police commissioner Sitole, asking him when will he see the farmers in court. Well, Tula Sizwe, your angle was just a few hours after the incident, not even a full day after the incident. Police, if you didn't know, police have to do some investigations. They have to gather evidence and then find the perpetrators and then arrest them, and then the court date will be set. So not more than 24 hours after the incident, you're calling for the police commissioner to see them in court. When? Well, and then, if you didn't know already, at least one farmer, I think a 50-year-old farmer, has already been arrested. Fast, Fast work for the police. Well, the EFF click saga was over a month ago. To date, zero, nada, zilch, arrest. Nobody's been arrested. And as for the Fees Must Fall campaign, for all the video footage, TV footage, cell phone evidence on social media, of all that evidence available, there was only one arrest. Only one arrest. Wow. And to end, with regards to the farm murders, you say this.
By the way, in case you're wondering, there's also no genocide against white farmers in this country.
Hey, Tula Sizwe, you seem to be well versed. While there is so much of evidence to support this theory, you seem to know as fact that this is a myth. And you're not afraid to say it. Yet Parliament has at least 2 sittings in the last 6 months or so to address the very same matter. Becky Keller was in Newcastle not more than a month ago to address a farm murder. Responsible journalism from you? I think not. Like I said, both you and ENCA need to hang your heads in shame. We, the public, deserve unbiased journalism. You need to present us with the facts, and we, the public, need to make up our minds. We don't need you, Tula Sizwe, and ENCA pushing us, goading us, directing us, or telling us your view on the matter and trying to convince us that you are correct. Anyway, that's my angle. What do I know? I'm no journalist. My name is KC. I'm out.
Dondala with the Messiah.